Hello everyone, I'm Khalid, Game Director on Bloom. And for those of you who for some reason don't know what Bloom is about yet, you're in control of Sprout, this tiny little seedling, and he has the powers of nature. The world is infested with these robots, and you gotta defeat them and give life back to Earth. We're Team Flaming Toast. We have over 60 people on the team, all dedicated, all working hard on making this the best game ever. As you saw on Demo Day, we had 2 levels, one epic conclusion with a boss fight, and people really loved this. They loved the simplicity of the game. They loved how good it was looking, how high quality it was, how bug-free it was, and we definitely want to build on that. Actually, just a couple weeks back, I was fortunate enough to go to DICE, and I met a lot of important people, a lot of nice people. It's a convention where a lot of industry veterans meet. And I got to show them Bloom, and everyone from Randy Pitchford to Warren Spector said that the game was amazing. And I quote some of them saying that it's the best Unity game they've ever seen. People aren't only interested with how the final product ended up, but they're also interested with how we've been leading a 60-person team, how we've been working on the game. We showed the game to a lot of people from Handsoft, which is the software we're using for production. And just yesterday, I had a meeting with Patrick Palm, the CEO of Handsoft, and we're working on a collaboration that we just can't talk about yet. What?
Let's talk about the game.
Okay, let's talk more about the game. So moving forward and talking more about the game, we're going to start off, we're going to add a bunch of content to the game, not too much though, because we want to polish a lot of what we have so far, and we want to reiterate on everything. To start off with that, we're going to call on Christopher Barakian, our lead networking engineer, to talk more.
Thank you, Khaled. Hi guys, I'm Chris Barakian. I'm lead networking engineer on Bloom. So one thing we first wanted to address today is kind of like what is the status of Bloom and PlayStation Vita and kind of like where everything is on it. So unfortunately this semester we received the software from Sony just too late into the semester for us to kind of get Bloom on to the Vita in time. So we're not going to be able to do that by spring. What are you doing up here, Nihar?
You seem so sad about the Vita.
We're not going to be able to make it.
But who cares? Because you got it playing on the iOS devices now. So yeah, Bloom now plays on iPhones and iPads.
That's right. So one thing we want to do is bring Bloom into the mobile space. So we started by bringing it to iPads and iPhones. The iOS platform is great because it provides you a unified architecture across both the tablets and phones and iPods that Apple puts out.
And no iPad or iPhone, you're still okay because Bloom also plays on Android phones and Android tablets.
Right again, Nihar, because we also brought it to Android because Android is has the largest install base of smart mobile devices. So we want to make sure people who have an Android device can play Bloom too.
And I've saved the best for the last. Windows 8 tablets as well.
You can keep that one. So we wanted to bring Bloom to mobile devices, which provides a unique set of challenges in itself, since you have to basically take a game that's running on the PC and shrink it down to fit on a mobile device. So this requires us to do things like shrink textures, cut poly counts, optimize scripts, and rewrite our shaders so they can work across multiple platforms. To start, we'll show a quick video showing us playing on our various devices. The sound. So here we got it. It's running on, we got a tablet there. We got our Intel Ultrabook with Intel graphics. I think Richard's playing Flappy Bird. I don't think he's on the right game. So one definite unique challenge to all of this is mapping our controls from the mobile device or from the PC controls we have to the mobile device. I mean, it requires us to completely redo everything. So here's Khaled to talk more about that.
So as you guys know by now, Bloom is about precise platforming and gesture controls combined in a coherent way. And bringing precise platforming to a touch-only device is a very difficult problem to solve. We ended up coming up with various different control schemes testing them out, we actually expanded to 2 different usability teams. And after rounds and rounds of testing, we found a solution that was favored by a lot of our testers, and we feel that the game is very, very enjoyable on touch devices right now.
Yeah. Another big challenge we wanted to do for bringing Bloom to mobile is make sure that all our multiplayer is still supported across the various platforms. And so that's one thing we really wanted to hit. And so you can play together with your friend, whether you're on an iPad and they're on a PC, or someone's on an Android. And so that's what we really wanted to hit. And so you can see that there in the previous few scenes, and then here demonstrating our current mobile controls, which are always getting refined based off usability testing. Going forward, here's Peter Turner to talk more about our engineering progress.
Thanks, Chris. So in addition to the networking and the platform changes and all of the engineering challenges that come with them, we've also been working a lot on new mechanics. Specifically, this fan mechanic is a new... Sorry. Yeah, like in my mouth. So the fans provide the player with new challenges for platforming because they don't have control over the player anymore. They have to use their mechanics. This mic is screwing me up. Anyway, go on. Just. This is fine. I'll just. Just go on. It's fine. Lifu. So here you see the swarm. This is one of our new AI behaviors for the semester. The swarm moves as a unit. It tracks the player. Yeah, if the player is good, the swarm will track the player. They maintain separation distance from each other, but they also maintain an individual identity. So an individual swarm member can break off, can attack the player, and then return back to the swarm. And hopefully he can get through this now. This is the new ending to level 2. We added this section. We're still refining it. We're still polishing it. We're still kind of gauging the speed and the difficulty. It's meant to provide sort of a hectic ending, which will lead into the new level, which we'll get to next. You can make it. You can do it. And now he's learning the new wind ability. This is the 3rd and final player ability in Bloom. It's heavily featured in the 3rd level and the 4th level. Yeah. And as you can see here, he just blasted his way through, and now he's escaping to the new level.
So speaking of the wind ability and new features, we wanted to give the player a new experience. The wind ability, for example, can interact with the rigid bodies, as you can see here. Very heavy rigid bodies. And you can see a new gameplay mechanic right here with the pendulums that we introduced. So the wind mechanic is going to be our main gameplay mechanic in level 3, the new city level that we're adding. The mechanic itself and the level went through a lot of iterations. At some point, this wind ability made Sprat fly, and it's not as fun as it sounds. We went through almost 6 iterations of the new level just to make it as fun as possible. We want to have the player enjoy it in a different way, and we feel that what we have so far is a lot of fun. To talk more about our art progress, here's our art director, Bryce Coe.
Thanks, Clyde. So the focus for the art team this semester has been mostly polish and efficiency. And to start out the semester, what we did was we had a big meeting where we sat down all of our engineers and artists, and we talked about what we could do to improve the pipeline. And what we ended up deciding was that we needed an entirely new team of engineers to create the asset integration team. And what they would do is, bring in the art, organize everything, attach animations, create new particle systems, and thanks to them, things have been running so much more smoothly this semester, and it's a team that we didn't even know we needed until after an entire semester's worth of work. To show you some of the new artwork that we've actually done this semester, last semester you might have noticed the lava level had these junk robots that were shooting like random particles, but this semester we've had time to go back and really sort of embellish them with these new flamethrower robots who we think look really cool.
Yeah, not only do they look cool, they also feature a new attack. So the flame attack will be an area effect. It'll stick to the ground, and the player will need to use the cloud ability to defeat it.
You've already seen our new flybot, and here's a little more, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to have more flying enemies besides that.
We've also revamped the spike and added a lot of new particle systems to our spider robots. You'll notice that when he does the spike on the spider bot, that they now explode into this really green, gushy mess. And it's cool because it makes it look more dynamic than our other enemies, but it also has an interesting gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, so the spider always had a melee attack. This semester we added a second attack, which is an explosion. I cannot do this, Mike. So that adds a lot of randomness to the gameplay. The player can, never know exactly what to expect when they see a spider.
One of our brand new enemies is the gorilla robot, and he's very different from our other enemies in that he's a lot bulkier and he's a lot heavier. So different abilities that work on other enemies don't work on him. Primarily Spike, which we've gotten used to killing everything with, doesn't work on the gorilla robot.
And what you're seeing in the middle is you can actually use the wind ability to throw the exploding spiders against the gorilla and kill them that way.
The biggest push that we've made with the art this semester is the new city level, which Colette mentioned earlier. And here you can see some of the concept art that we've been doing. We kind of started with more of a post-apocalyptic look when we were starting out, but we actually eventually landed on something I think that's a little bit more similar to the toon-shaded look that we've had thus far. So we ended up picking this last concept, and within the last couple weeks actually, we've gone from that 2D target render to a full 3D version of the city level, which, here you are. So the interesting thing about making a city level is that the background art, if it's the same buildings over and over, it gets really repetitive. And also with the game design, the layouts are always changing, and keeping that city look while making the art feel true to the world is really difficult. So the solution that we came up with was we actually just created 6 buildings to be modular, so they could be broken apart. And what we would do is we would take those pieces and create new buildings from them. So what you're looking at is really 6 buildings that have been reconstructed in 6 different, a dozen different ways. And this is also really great for game design because they're able to have whatever layouts they need, and we can just create custom pieces to fit them. And to talk about the future of Bloom, here's our producer, Jordan Klein.
So as you've seen, we've taken feedback from both usability testing and from Fall Demo Day very, very seriously. People really enjoyed the art style, so we added this entirely new aesthetic that you see before you. People really like the gesture controls, so we brought the game to a variety of touch platforms for a more visceral experience. And people really just enjoyed the simplicity of the mechanics, so we added wind, which really deepens the experience without overcomplicating it. And not only that, but we've been hard at work iterating all of the previous levels that you've seen. As was mentioned before, we have 2 usability testing teams now, which is very, very cool. And that, in addition to some new pipeline processes like design engineering meetings every week, have really helped us up our efficiency. So for Spring Demo Day, we plan to have 4 separate levels. The junkyard, the lava area, the city level that you saw today, and a laser machine area, which leads to our climactic boss fight, which you saw last time, which will have an extended feature set and truly be an epic finish. And in total, we plan to have over 1 hour's worth of content, which is a goal that we're very confident we can reach and something that we're all very proud of. So this was Team Flaming Toast, and that was Bloom. Thank you.